Have you ever recommended a book to a friend? Of course, right? We all do it. It seems like such a small, simple thing, but what if that little act is actually a really powerful way to connect with someone? Well, today we're going to explore the quiet magic behind sharing a great story. This quote, man, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? It's not about just saying, hey, you should read this. It's about being a gentle guide. It's this quiet act of care where you really see someone and you offer them a whole new world that might be exactly what they need at that moment. So, here's our game plan for today. First, we'll dive into the why, the real magic behind sharing books. Then, we're going to play literary matchmaker and figure out how to pair the perfect book with the right person. After that, we'll get into the actual art of recommending. And finally, we'll see just how far a book's journey can go, long after we've passed it on. Okay, let's start at the very beginning, the magic of sharing books. Because before we can even get to the how, we really need to understand the why. What's actually happening when we suggest a book to someone? So what is a book recommendation really? At its core, it's a thoughtful suggestion. And notice those key words: interests, needs, age, emotional state. It makes it so clear that it's not actually about the book itself, it's about the reader. You're basically acting as a bridge, connecting a reader's heart directly to a writer's voice. So why is this so important? Well, for one, in a world with literally millions of books, a good recommendation saves so much time. It helps us find those hidden gems we'd otherwise miss. And maybe the most important thing, it makes us feel seen, understood. A simple suggestion can build this warm, wonderful bridge between two people, all because of a shared story. All right, now that we've got the why down, let's get into the really fun part, the how. In this next section, matching book to reader, we're going to figure out how to choose that perfect literary gift. Before we get into any of the details, we have to talk about the golden rule. It's so simple, but it's everything. It always, always, always starts with the reader. Not with your favorite book, not with the newest bestseller, but with them. In this diagram here, it shows that golden rule in action perfectly. You can see the flow. You start with the reader, you think about their interests, their emotions, what's going on in their life, and that's what leads you to the perfect book. It's a simple, beautiful reader-first approach. One of the easiest ways to start is just by thinking about age. For a kid, you're looking for books that nurture their imagination, right? Picture books, stories with a kind heart. For a teenager, you might be helping them figure out who they are, so you think about adventure or self-discovery. And for adults, well, the reasons are all over the map. Maybe they want to grow, or maybe they just need a good escape. And beyond age, you can ask, what's the reader's purpose? Are they trying to learn something? You'll want a book that's clear and encouraging. Are they just trying to relax after a crazy week? Think of a book that feels like soft music, some light fiction, maybe. Or maybe they need a bit of healing. That's when you look for those inspirational stories that don't preach, but just gently encourage. Okay, so you've found it, the perfect book for someone. Now what? Let's get into the practical side with our third section, the art of recommending. This is all about how you present that gift with real care. The process itself is beautifully simple. First, and this is the most important part, you listen. Really listen to what they're going through. From that, you understand them. Then you offer the suggestion kindly. No pressure at all. And finally, here's the magic step. You explain why you thought of this specific book for them. The language you use here matters so much. Think about the difference between "you have to read this" and a much gentler invitation like, you might enjoy this. One feels like a command, the other feels like a true gift. Using kind phrases builds trust and makes the person feel like you care, not like you're giving them homework. And of course, there are a few common mistakes to try and avoid. We've all been there, right? Forcing our absolute favorite book on someone we love. But we have to try to avoid that. And also think about their reading level. And definitely don't give them a list of 20 books. The main takeaway is simple. A recommendation should always feel light, never heavy. And hey, just a quick thought on the format. Whether you're handing someone an actual book, with that amazing paper smell, or just sending them a link to a digital copy, it really doesn't matter. They're both beautiful in their own way. What really counts is the thoughtful connection behind it. So, you've chosen the perfect book, and you've recommended it with care. But what happens next? The story is far from over. Our final section, A Book's Lasting Journey, is all about the incredible ripple effect of that one single recommendation. Let's zoom out for a second and think about the big picture. When we recommend books, we're actually helping stories travel across the entire globe. In a small way, we're hoping to preserve traditions and share human values. Each recommendation is like a tiny thread in this huge, beautiful tapestry of global understanding. And on a personal level, the impact can be absolutely profound. That one book you suggested could completely change how someone sees the world. It could spark a dream they never knew they had. It might even become a friend they return to for comfort again and again for the rest of their life. And this is really what it all boils down to. When you share a book, you're sharing a little piece of your own heart. You're basically saying, I experienced something special here, and I'm offering it to you, hoping it might feel special to you too. It's just a pure act of connection. So let's end with this beautiful thought. Book recommendations aren't just suggestions. They're acts of kindness. They're small gifts that, when you give them with real care, can light these quiet little lamps in other people's lives. And that really leaves you with a question, doesn't it? Whose lamp will you light next?
Thank you for watching my video. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon.